This is a tutorial about how to set up CP triangles for use with Sword of Moonlight game making engine. Sword of Moonlight uses a set of triangles to decide the path a spell projectile will take when it's launched from an enemy. So we need to make a set of triangles. A good way to do that is with a polysurface plugin for Metasequoia, which lets you draw triangles on the surface of an object. So I have triangle selected, and I'll just click out a triangle. That makes the triangle perfectly flat on the surface, and it's easier to handle. So I will move it a little, copy it, paste it, and move the copy forward. So there I have an easy set of flat, straight triangles. So the spell would get launched from this view along the blue path here, through the center of both triangles. If I moved one of the triangles up, that would make the spell launched in an upward angle, etc. It doesn't matter if you have one of the corners offset like this. The spell will still go straight. It just matters where the center of the two triangles is. They act like a barrel for launching spells. How Sword of Moonlight recognizes that these triangles are special triangles and not part of the model is we have to cover them in a vertex color. Now, first thing you want to do for that is make a new material, which I've done here. And under the material properties, you want to check vertex color. That lets Metasequoia show vertex colors that are applied to polygons. So I'll select all the CPs here and apply that material. Set material to faces. Now there's no color on them until we set the color. So select the triangle you want to apply a vertex color to. Push the V color button. That will bring up this. You'll have to select red, green, blue instead of HSV. CP triangles will always have a red value of 255 and a blue value of 0. Sword of Moonlight differentiates between CP triangles and a single model based on the green color channel. So for this first triangle here, we'll apply a green of 0. So there you can see it's applied to the faces. Now we'll have to close this and select the second triangle in the set here. And we will set the green channel to 1. The spell will start at 0 and travel through the triangle that has 1 in its green channel. That's a set of CPs right there. Single-sided triangle polygons. These will not show up in game. We need to make sure they are locked to my cube here, so I'll just drag them into my cube's object. And now you'll see on the motions here, they move with the cube. You can have more than one set of CP triangles in a model. You just would start the next set at a vertex color on the green channel of 2, then 3. Okay, here I've set up a second set of triangles, and I'll cover them in the same material with the vertex color enabled. Select the first triangle here and apply a vertex color of red 255, green 2. And select the second triangle and apply a vertex color of 3. That's set up with 2 spell launch locations. The PRF file is what decides which spell is launched from which location. So when we save, we will go to DirectX with animation. Make sure include vertex colors is checked when you save the model. We'll set the scale as always to 1/100. Okay, so here's my saved model in X format. I will drag that onto X2 MDL, and it converts it into an MDL format. Then I will drag the MDL onto CPGen. CPGen gives you a readout of the CP triangles that are in the model. Here is green channel 0, 1, 2, and 3 CPs. You can see there, and there's the CP file. Now I'll pause for a second while I get these imported into Sword of Moonlight. I loaded my outstandingly detailed cube enemy into Sword of Moonlight, and I gave it a single fireball spell that's launched from its CP triangle that has a green color of 0, and I gave it a double fireball attack that's launched from the vertex color of 2 green. I also gave it a flame animation that is centered on triangle covered in 1 green vertex color. Here is the flame animation that is centered on 1 green. See, it's just floating out in the air there. Flame animations don't have to have a set of CP triangles, they're just centered on 1. I set its counterattack to be the single fireball spell launched from green 0 toward green 1. There you could see it getting launched. Now here is the double fireball attack, which I set to be launched from green 2 toward green 3. And that's how you set up spells